So what makes a horror scene? Fairly simple and straightforward question that everyone knows. What makes it scary? It's the sort of thing that's a very personal experience. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Steps Basic, and welcome back to my community show. Today, we're going to be constructing a horror scene using my editing software. We're going to be looking at things that establish horror. Take a look at this scene, for instance. When you look at this scene, it's dark. Not colorful. Nothing happy is happening in this scene. Nothing much is happening at all. Cue the creepy noise. Unexpected happenings. Now, the thing that we look for when it comes to horror scenes is much like what we look for in comedy. I know there's a strange little connection there. The one major thing that will affect how a horror scene is reacted to is subversion of expectations. This scene right here. The trailer I made.
Help me. Help.
Now that right there, we have an audio distortion. We have visual problems from the digital glitches to the blurred outline character of the character. And one thing you may not have noticed is that the contrast is up. Now, all that serves to work in favor of establishing something that's not natural, something that doesn't feel comfortable. And that is the whole point of establishing horror, is that the viewer is not comfortable. So let's go ahead and shoot something real quick. We just need a little bit of a snippet, a little bit of video for us. So now we have a quick scene that we can work with. Let's add this into the timeline. 12 seconds. 12 seconds of video footage. That ought to be enough to work with.
Well, this isn't right at all.
Now that is the regular audio, right?
Well, this isn't right at all.
That's my
I don't know
voice.
what's happening. Things are strange. It's scary. I don't like it.
Now for this scene, much like I was talking about earlier, I turned the contrast. Sorry, I turned the saturation up to give it a little offset orangey glow to it. Now, of course, the other things you can do, darkening it, because that adds to a degree of uncomfortableness, because if we can't see it, we're not comfortable with it. We're going to leave it there.
Well, this isn't right at all.
Now, there we have. Now we've added a second one into the timeline. Now, in order to get the effect that we had last time, we're going to take the video and we're going to offset it about half a frame. Sorry, half a second. 10 frames.
Well, this isn't right at all.
Now we have the echo. But we still don't have the ghost images. In order to do that, we go into the advanced options here. We go compositing, and we're going to drop the opacity of the second video down to 70. See how that works.
Well, this isn't right at all. I don't know what's happening. Things are...
Now, the audio is echoing, which makes it kind of unsettling, unnerving, and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to alter the audio even more. First, we're going to turn this down to 70, and we're going to pitch it up to, say, 6.
Well, this isn't right at all.
Gotta love that little high-pitched voice I got sometimes, huh?
Well, this isn't right at all.
Now, if you want to, like, you'll see when this one's in here now, the coloration is off a bit. Like the original video's got the contrast, but this one doesn't. So if you want to, turn this one down a bit more, opacity-wise. That'll get more of the original video to bleed through.
Well, this isn't right at all.
So now we're going to take the third copy of it and offset it another 10. Let's go ahead and offset it a little bit more. Or a little bit less, I mean. We're going to offset them by 5 frames. Oh. And then we're going to pitch the audio on this one down. Now, much like I was talking about subversion of expectation, we're going for a creepier aspect than what you would look for in a comedy.
Well, this isn't right at all. I don't know what's happening.
So now we have a lot more. It's synced up a bit more.
Well, this isn't right at all.
But it's still got the shake effect going on there. We're going to turn the volume down to 50 though, because you can still hear too much of the audio bleed through, and you want it more of a background noise. Now we're going to take this and we're going to snip it, and we're going to shrink all of these videos back down to normal, to the normal length. Now granted, if I was saying scarier things in the video, this would be a little bit worse, a little bit better.
What?
So there we have established some of the gimmicky edits that I used for it.
Well, this isn't right at all. I don't know what's happening. Things are strange. It's scary. I don't like it. Tilted at a degree. What?
And for the last scene, we're going to turn the volume back up so that it's less background noise and more overlap. Now, another thing to remember, it's all well and good to offset and distort the audio like I did, but sometimes music will be the maker or the breaker of the horror. Like, I have 2 songs that I really go to. I have, in particular, I have the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. I really love that one. But I've also got the Funeral March. Now, the Funeral March automatically incurs the idea of dead. I just recently got these 2. Like, I really love this one. I've been using it for my outro to my Amnesia series. And I got this one. This one's more country-ish, less horror, more like dark adventure. And of course, throw the song in.
Well, this isn't right at all.
You have to remember to turn it down. Now, a good way to remember to, undo that, not too late. Good thing to remember when setting the background music is you want it to be much lower than your audio will be. So we have the mixer here. You're going to want to, like, negative 32 is usually what I use.
Well, this isn't right at all. I don't know what's happening. Things are strange. It's scary. I don't like it.
But for some songs, 32 is too much. So we're going to go negative 20. Now, of course, the music is helpful. The distorted audio is good. Sound effects are good too. This video, the way it's made, it has no real good sound effect like situations. But they use it a lot in in movies and such, where you get the sound that just kind of just keeps pitching itself up. I don't remember what it's called, but it's meant to unnerve you. It's meant to like dig into the back of your brain and make you feel uncomfortable. And that sort of sound effect, they use it in situations when they want you to be tense. So if you can find a situation that is useful in, then that helps. Like this situation, I can't use it. I don't even have it, to be perfectly honest. But I don't have any place to use it in this one. Of course, we have all sorts of different ones. Like when you find something surprising, or you go into you gotta go deeper. These often help. Now with sound effects, there's more things that you can do. Like this. Not counting the music part, is record fuzz. When you go into your videos, like Filmora has a wonderful selection of old film stuff, damaged film stuff, and that's the sort of thing you want. So you can like dump this in there. It's a terrible place for it to put it, but okay. But we can drag that over the timeline. So that will give us
this isn't right at all.
the damaged film look. And then you can go back to your audio, you can put in your music, or your sound effects, sorry, you get your record fuzz.
This isn't right at all.
And then you just cut it. Copy it. Paste it in there. A continuous needling sound in the background of the video.
This isn't right at all.
Like you can hear the film rolling.
Things are strange. It's scary.
Now, of course, this video is not particularly scary, but we're trying to build the scene rather than make a scary video, just so you know. But that, in a nutshell, will help you to add depths of, layers of fear, as it were, to your video. Layers of horror elements. Now, of course, there are many different things. Like this is just a simple video. But you can, if you film just the area, and then you can film yourself in front of a green screen, you can cut out your green screen and you can have, say, for instance, your face. You can remove the green, put it in the background, tilt it, and just like with the other thing, you can composite it so it's a ghostly image, or you can change it to like darken it, color burn it. And if you're good and patient, you can make it move too. Now, like I said, that takes patience because you have to go frame by frame, cut it, and move it.
This isn't right at all.
And of course, if you like that movement that you got, then of course you can just copy, cut, paste, and replay it.
This isn't right at all. I don't.
Just like I did with the record fuzz, cut it, copy it, paste it. No cutting, just copy and paste. But there you go. That's essentially what you need to look for if you want to establish and build a horror scene in your editing software. Now, granted, I use Filmora. not everything is available to everything else. Like in some cases, animation could be a lot easier if you have more of an animating software than what I've got, like I've said before in the past. And in other cases, like I'm not sure if you'll have the overlays and the filters that I have, like the damaged film. But basically layering these in picture and then just fading them into the background will cause that ghost effect. And of course, like Filmora also has a few other things in it that take a little bit of the required movement out of it. For instance, the chaos shake.
It's scary. I don't like it.
Well, this isn't right at all. I don't know what's happening. Things are strange. It's scary. I don't like it. Tilted at a degree. What? Well, that was just dumb. But anyway, there's all the elements you should look for in crafting yourself a horror scene. Hopefully that helps you, all those editors out there. I know not everybody's an editor, not everyone really cares about this sort of thing, but I thought it would be a fun little thing to take you guys down. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and of course, if you'd like to, you can leave some comments down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, when I can, if I can. You know all that jazz, and tune in next time as we continue on with our last and final Spooktober event. Yes, next Friday. And until then, good night.